Well, across Ohio today, voters have been casting their ballots in crucial primary races. The Senate primary, in particular, setting the stage for a high-stakes election in November.
All right, for more on this, Washington correspondent Stephen Goen joins us tonight, live from Columbus. Stephen, good evening. So what are you hearing from voters today about this Senate primary?
So voters we spoke to in both parties, they were motivated, but we know in this Republican primary, there's just one candidate. So not a lot of competition. We're talking about the incumbent Senator Jon Husted. On the Democratic side, though, there is some competition, but a clear front runner as well. In this Ohio Senate Democratic primary, voters had the choice between the former three-term U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown running against software designer Ron Kincaid. And polling shows Brown is the leading contender here, and that's the name we heard over and over again talking to voters today. They remember him. They say they believe he will fight for Ohioans. But there were a lot of other issues that voters were motivated by at the polls today. Take a listen.
I remember when he was in office before, and I feel like he supported Ohio very well.
It's becoming increasingly important that we turn out to elect qualified officials who are not corrupt people.
The high prices that we're paying at the gas pumps, food, just constant barrage of negativity with this administration, that a change is coming.
So you heard that last voter there talking about the administration, the Trump administration. We know these midterm elections are often a referendum on the party in power and the president. Another national tie-in here, Vice President J.D. Vance is in Ohio today. He cast his ballot in these primary elections. We know that before he left for the White House, he was a senator from Ohio, and the Senate race will be deciding who fills that seat, the seat that he left behind. Tonight, we'll find out exactly who those contenders are for the general election in November. Back to you.
All right, Stephen Goen reporting live from Columbus. Thanks a lot. And be sure to head to Cleveland19.com or the 19 News app for more information on today's primary election. We'll have continuing coverage as Ohio decides here on 19 News, Cleveland's 43, and streaming on 19 News Plus through tonight as the results come in.